G'day everyone, I'm AzureBlaze, and welcome to another My Thoughts On video. This one's a little bit different, it's not scripted. The Partner Direct Showcase thing happened this last week, and the second last game that was shown was The Adventures of Elliot, something. It's a long name, and I really liked the look of it. I'm not gonna lie, I really did like the look of it. Therefore, I sort of went and downloaded the demo. Like not necessarily like it's not like a full game demo. It's more like a beta demo where you can like give feedback and all that sort of thing. And I don't know, I want to talk about it because it's fun. It's a really nice like game. And I mean, straight away the music is great. Like a lot of these Square Enix games are pretty good. And then like the art style, the 2D HD. The HD 2D style. I really like the style. I know people are getting bored of it. However, like I think because I've only really other than this like played triangle strategy. I'm not a big fan of traditional RPGs. Therefore, Octopath and then like what's it called, the Dragon Quest remakes. I think they're the other ones that use the HD 2D style and maybe some other ones. However, yeah, I'm not generally very interested in traditional RPGs. Therefore, when I saw this, and I saw that it was an action RPG, I was like, ooh, I like that. And it's more of an action RPG in the sense of like a Zelda game, as opposed to, I don't know, something like a Tales of game. It's very much like a top-down Zelda game in a lot of ways, which I'll get to in a bit. However, otherwise, the art style is great. I really like it. And I think this is the first time that I feel like they've been able to let this art style shine even better than it ever has before, seeing as it's going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's going to other platforms. However, it's not going to be on Switch 1. Therefore, it's like base look is going to be designed around the Switch 2. And I really like that. It does. It looks really, really good. There are some funny things with it. I feel like when I'm playing it on handheld, it does look a bit shimmery every now and then. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm assuming it's not going to end up looking like that at the end. I don't know, it looked a little bit funny in some areas. And yeah, however, like, the other thing as well is, like, you would be able to change the options in the full game. This had, like, a preset, like, set options, and you couldn't really change it. It looks like there's going to be a great amount of options, though, not going to lie. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be quite extensive with the whole game. However, like, in this demo, like, obviously we were limited to what we could do. Even then, there was, like, some good options that you could, like, change and all that sort of thing. And then, yeah, the menu itself is, like, really neat. In saying that, I like how there's like this whole like map, like 2D, 3D look to it and everything like that, and that goes for like the menu throughout the entire thing. It's really neat looking. I like how it's like a good mixture of different things. I will say it's a little bit slower than I would like it to be. Like, not necessarily in a way that like it doesn't feel like it's lagging or anything like that. However, like to get to specific things, you have to do a lot of like to this item, to this item, to this item type thing, instead of being able to like quickly move around. However, otherwise, I think the design overall, I think it makes up for it. And then Faye, the little fairy, she comes with little powers that you can equip and stuff like that. And I don't remember seeing that in the direct or anything like that. However, like you can like in the demo at least you can equip like a speed power up and a sort of a teleport power up where you can teleport Elliot to wherever Faye is. That's really neat. I really like that. I hope that the power list ends up being really, really extensive with all sorts of different things you can do. I mainly use the speed one because you go super fast. And then there's as well commands for Faye. You can like send her out in front, and Faye can attack as well, which is really neat. I apologize if I'm jumping around all over the place. I'm like reading off my notes as I go. Yeah, there's commands for Faye. You can like send her out in front or keep her back and all that sort of thing. You can get her to stop and all that as well. And then like what I understand in co-op mode, one person can control Faye, someone else controls Elliot and all that sort of thing. It's really neat. It's something that I found really strange. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's like the fact that you can jump. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. However, I'm used to like these 2D top-down art styles never being able to jump. I suppose in like things like Octopath. I mean, again, I haven't played Octopath. However, like things like, especially triangle strategy and stuff, there's no need to jump, I guess. However, you can jump around and stuff like that. You can jump between platforms, and I think that's really neat. When you go to people and talk to them, after you talk to them, their text boxes have little ticks. I think that's neat. I really like that, and I hope more games have something like that in the future, because it's like really good for showing who you talk to and all that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, when you equip items, it's like sort of like the older Zelda games. Like you have like 2 spots, and then you can like equip different items to it. Hopefully that doesn't get a bit too clunky. You can have your shield on a different button. However, then you've got 2 item slots that you can put items into. Yeah, I'm hoping that doesn't get too clunky. However, you can sort of change them pretty quickly, kind of. You can hold down like one of the buttons on the back, and it will pull up like a radial menu, and then you can like switch them out that way, I guess. Hopefully, I don't know, something I would like is like a quick switch, like sort of like it's in Ratchet and Clank. You can have the radial menu, however you can like simply press a button and it'll switch between them and stuff like that. Yeah, something like that I think would probably work a little bit better. Something that immediately makes this game worse though is that you can't pet the cats. Yeah, I simply really want to pet the cats. Some problem I did have, actually, I only played for around about an hour-ish or something like that, and I decided I don't want to play anymore after that because I kind of want to go full in when the game fully comes out. However, an issue I had is I ended up getting stuck in the town for ages, and not because like I was necessarily lost or anything like that. I was simply, there was a lot to do. Like there was a lot to do in this one little town castle area, and eventually I had to stop and simply go because I couldn't stay there forever. Something else in my notes, the voice acting for the characters, I think is pretty good, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people will probably get frustrated by Faye. Faye does talk a lot, and there's nothing in the settings at the moment to be able to turn her voice off. However, like, I mean, I kind of like that sort of thing in games where they have a lot of the characters talking as you go and making quips and things. I understand that a lot of people don't like that, though. I hope they have an option in there for them later on. I'm fine with it, and I think Faye is adorable, therefore it's fine. There's lots of standard RPG mechanics as well. Like, you can upgrade, like, swords and weapons and all that sort of thing. You can get better swords in the overworld, as I found later. You can, like, yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do. It's good. I really like that. I mean, considering I don't like RPGs very much, that sort of thing is like, I mean, here nor there. I don't tend to like the micromanaging aspect, however, I think, I don't know, it fleshes out the game for a lot of people who want that type of thing, and I'm happy to do it if it's in a game that I like. Yeah, anyway, as I said, I eventually had to leave the city and all that sort of thing, and there's like shrines around there. Actually, we'll get back to that. First thing says, combat. I think it's quite snappy. I think it works really well. I kind of wish... a little nitpick of mine is Elliot has like... You can like swing like 3 times, kind of. However, he does like the same swing animation. I kind of wish he did like a back and forth. I don't know. That's simply me. I think that would like look a little bit nicer and maybe feel a little bit more impactful. However, I might be wrong as well. Yeah, there's... However, otherwise, the combat is really, really snappy. It is fairly simple. As I said, it's more like a Zelda game as opposed to like a big action RPG like a Tales of game or something like that, where you have like all these different moves. You can do things like you simply like swipe with your sword, or you can charge up your sword. Instead of spinning like in a Zelda game though, you like fire out a burst, which is kind of like in a Zelda game, however it's a little bit different. You have like a bow and you can charge that up as well and fire out 3 arrows. You have bombs. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's a lot more like a Zelda game. As I said, as I keep saying, I keep comparing it to Zelda. That's because it's like a Zelda game. However, yeah, the combat is really snappy. As I said, Faye can attack enemies as well. If Faye goes past them, she can like hit them briefly. And I don't think Faye can lose any health. The health system is... I'm not 100% sure what they're meant to be up the top left. It probably explained it, and I probably wasn't watching as it explained it. However, yeah, I don't know. It works like a normal health system though, and you can pick up like items and stuff like that to help. Yeah, however, around the overworld as well, there's like shrines, and they contain treasures and challenges and stuff like that. Shrines like in Zelda, and like they'll give you like special little things. There's dungeons as well. Yeah, it feels like a Zelda game, like a top-down Zelda game. I really like it. Then there's like, in like the little amount of time that I did play, I think I encountered like I don't know, I can't say how many. I mean, I can read them out. I counted a lot of like biomes and locations in the game in the little amount of time, which is really neat. There was like the Tower Castle town, as I said before. There's like a grasslands, a desert, like a cave full of sinkholes and stuff like that. There's some other rocky caves. That's where you get like the sword, this new sword from. There's like this swamp with really nice looking water. And then there's like a big flower like that hasn't bloomed that you go into, and that's like a whole dungeon on its own, and it really reminds me of like Minish Cap. Like you walk in like to this flower, and then there's like lily pads and stuff like in there, and that's where I sort of ended because I was like, I'm fine. I'm good with this now. I'm happy. Yeah, and then like if you lose all your life, you can like pay Faye to like resurrect you, which is a funny little thing as well. I don't know. I really like this. I really enjoy this game. There is some things, as I said, like some little things like the visuals. Sometimes they look a little bit shimmery. I don't know what's going on there. To me, it looks more like a visual error more than it does anything else. It did crash on me at one point. The game, it straight up crashed. Yep. And then there's little things as well. Like I kind of wish. Again, this goes back to like the talking stuff. Faye, like with her talking, sometimes she'll make like comments that sound like they're meant to be like responded to, and Elliot says nothing. I kind of wish Elliot talked back to Faye, and you have like this little like back and forth between them. I think that would make like a lot more like it would give it a lot more personality. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Personality. It would give it a little bit more personality. I think it would like grow like these characters. Maybe they will do that, maybe they won't, I don't know. Something that might be even like frustrating as well is you can't turn off Faye's picture in the bottom left hand corner, or even shrink it. And like Faye's great, as I said, in my opinion at least. However, like that takes up a lot of screen real estate simply to see Faye's reactions to things. And I kind of wish, I don't know, maybe you can make it smaller or simply turn it off, to be completely honest. It feels bad to say that. I feel mean saying that. However, like, I don't know, like I like her voice stuff. However, like having her picture down there all the time down the bottom, like it matches with like the map on the other side. However, like I don't know, I kind of wish they made her commands and her abilities like a circle in that corner instead of simply having her there the whole time. I guess you never would really see Faye otherwise. Maybe, I don't know. I do kind of wish that they like turned it down a little bit though, a little bit less Faye. Even though as I said, I like the voice stuff. A little bit less visuals of Faye in the corner the whole time. I know what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, though, this game, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. As I said, almost an hour that I played it. I cannot wait until it comes out fully. This is definitely a game I'm going to play. I don't know if I'm going to play it on the channel. I probably won't play it on the channel, to be honest. This is like one of the type of games that I would like to play probably by myself. Every now and then I have a game like that. However, yeah, it probably won't be one that I play on the channel. It does look really good though. It plays really fun. I don't know. I'm really excited for the full game release. Anyway, yeah, that is my sort of, I guess, brief thoughts on the Adventure of Elliot demo, like the debut demo or whatever it's called. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I shall be back in the next one. Cheers, everyone.